my lady! My lady! Come on in, guys.
Hello and welcome to Intoxicated Masculinity. If it's Wednesday, we have a cocktail video, or in this case, a tasting video with a guest, Ty Rushing.
Hey, how you doing? Pleasure to be here.
I am led to believe you try things.
I do. So, you know, I have the stomach of iron sometimes, and yeah, I like to try new things. I like to try weird things.
Well, we are going to certainly put that to the test. So we've done some of these tastings before. This is going to be a tequila tasting, obviously. So we are going to do a 8-position bracket. So our first 6 tequilas, we have Avion, El Tesoro, G4, Codigo. When your wife is a Spanish speaker, you have to make sure you pronounce these correctly. El Primo and Fortaleza. So these 6 are sort of the main tequilas we're testing. These tequilas are all very traditionally made. They are cooked in a stone oven, and they are distilled in a copper pot still. So these are not your Jose Cuervos that are going to make you feel horrible the next day. To round out the 8, what I decided to do is toss in 2 others. The first one is going to be our 1800s. That's going to be a very, very affordable kind of cocktail ready tequila. It's going to be great for your margaritas and everything else. Again, price point going to be significantly under these. I should say something about the price point of these. These are all going to be between about 45 and about 75 bucks. So again, they're premium tequilas, but they are also not super premium tequilas. Nothing here is over $100 a bottle. And we talked about this during Venezuelan week. This is Cocuy, so this is a Venezuelan agave spirit. And I just kind of want to see where these place with these. Again, by all rationale, this should not be in the top 1 or 2. If it is, then there might be a problem with some of these tequilas. But that being said, are you ready to drink some tequila?
I am ready.
All right.
Let's do this.
We're going to drink some tequila. Okay, so if you want to pull out 2 of those Glencairns right there.
Okay. Yeah, see?
Right there.
Right here. Okay.
So we are doing number 1 on my left, number 2 on my right. We're going to go ahead and pour. Go ahead and take the cap off of there.
Okay.
And pour about a 1/4 ounce. Just kind of.
1/4 ounce. I'm just eyeball this.
Just about that much. We just want to be able to taste it.
All right.
And we are going to have to use these again.
Okay.
So there we go. So once again,
all right,
on my left, we have number 1.
And we got number 2.
I am going to hand Mr. Rushing a number 1.
Okay.
And I'm going to steal from him a number 2. So first of all, let's nose it.
Ooh.
Now, as I've said before, in this type of a thing, the first thing you taste is always the hardest because you don't have any sense of comparison. So, like, when I smell this, I get agave, and that's about it.
It reminds me of Mexico.
Yeah, just a blue agave. I mean, it's real mild, fairly crisp.
Yeah, this is a really pleasurable scent, especially if you love tequila.
I'm gonna go ahead and nose the second one.
Okay.
And then
Let's
we'll
go number 2.
Okay, I don't like that as much.
I don't. Yeah, this one. I don't.
It's a little astringent. It's a little. There's a little.
It almost reminds me of laundry detergent.
Yeah, I get it. I almost think it's kind of like burnt.
Yeah.
Like there's a little bit of a burnt note to it.
Huh? Like, yeah. Now that you say that, like, I can smell. It almost smells more like mezcal.
Yeah, except not smoky.
Not smoky, but like.
Yeah, nose-wise, I'm definitely. Well, anyway, let's.
All right, let's go taste
The nose doesn't always nose.
All right, this is number 1.
Much as I hate the term smooth, that is
very smooth.
It's got like a butteriness to it. It's got kind of like a little bit of oily, like not in a bad, in a good way. Kind of like a little bit of a mouthfeel to it.
I very much enjoyed that. That was just like a nice taste.
Now, one thing I should note about these are all Blanco tequilas. Now, Blanco does not mean unaged. I don't remember exactly. I think it's up to 6 months. Editing Mike will definitely correct us on here. So this could be in a barrel for up to, I think, 3 to 6 months. So this could have a little bit of age on it. And then they go ahead and filter out all the color.
I love that we're drinking and learning today.
We try. So this one tastes to me like that might have been in a barrel. Because I'm getting like just a little bit of oak. Not much, just a hint.
Just look at, I'm watching the palate master at work here.
Very much an amateur.
Too humble. All right, let me cleanse the palate.
That's not a bad idea.
All right, so 1 smelled good, tastes good. Let's see if number 2 can live up to that. Like, yeah, it still has that.
Now, one thing about tequilas, at least good tequilas in my mind, they tend to have fairly mild noses. Like this isn't something like where you open up a Jamaican tequila and you can smell that from across the room. These are, or a mezcal, for example. Mezcal, you're going to smell that right away. Most tequilas are a little more mild on the nose. So let's try this guy out.
All right.
Yeah, there's some astringency there. There's a little more flavor. It's less mild, but I don't think I like the extra flavor that's there.
No, not at all. It's no. That was an easy round.
I'm gonna go back one more time. I'm pretty sure I know which way I'm going, but
I'm pretty decided on that one. Like that was that was like a number 1 seed versus a number 16 seed. Two might have been a little too high, even though I know that's just the labeling.
Yeah, and by the way, I didn't see these. These are all blindly selected, so I don't know which one's which.
Oh yeah, I'm just making sports references.
Although I suspect I know what this is.
Whew, yeah, that was that's like going from riding around in a luxury vehicle to going to like a Ford Pinto.
Well, the thing is, I don't think this is a bad tequila.
It's not a bad tequila, but compared to that one.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's always interesting about these video brackets like this is sometimes you'll have something where you like it on its own, but then you try it against, like you say, if you go from driving a Ford Taurus, which is a perfectly fine car.
Oh, absolutely.
Nothing wrong with the Ford
I drive a
Taurus.
Kia.
But if you go from Ford Taurus to driving a Bentley, the Ford Taurus is now going to seem like it's not quite as nice as it used to seem.
It's not. I mean, like Cat Williams said, a Chrysler 300 looks like a Bentley till a Bentley pulls up.
Right. All right, I am definitely going with our number 1.
Yeah, one cleared that one for me. Yeah.
Our next is the imaginatively titled number 3 and number 4. Number 3 on my left, number 4 on my right.
Okay.
Once again, we're going to go for around 1/4 of an ounce.
Okay, I'm going to do 4 over here.
Maybe a skosh more.
Okay. There we go.
Sir, I'm going to hand you a number 3.
Okay, and I will trade you for number 4.
That sounds very good.
Okay. All right. So.
All right.
This is 3 right here.
So number 3.
Number 3. Okay. It's a very faint scent.
Yeah, it's not real. There's not a ton there.
Nah, very, very faint. Which could be a good thing. Maybe,
It doesn't. So the first one, number 1, was agave.
Yeah.
That was real solid blue
Screamed
agave.
agave.
There's agave there.
It's just very, very faint.
Yeah, it's not real apparent. Not bad, not a bad nose. Just kind of,
All right, let's go. Let's see what number 4.
This is different.
So it's got a stronger scent than the first one. I mean, the number 3.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Okay, what I think the difference between these two is this is a little bit more of kind of like a buttery, oily, kind of a, not smooth, I hate saying smooth. But like,
smooth, but people know what smooth is.
I know. But this is more crisp. This taste has more like a springy kind of nose. Yeah, a little. Well, again, I'm not going to talk too much on the nose. The palate is the most important thing.
All right, we going 3?
We are going 3.
All right, let's do this.
Man, that is good, but it's not a lot.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Like, it doesn't wow me. But it's not like, it wasn't like that second one.
There's no astringency to it at all.
Yeah.
There's no. The astringency is sort of like if you ever smell like fingernail polish remover. That kind of acrid, kind of like, it's the alcohol, but the bad kind of alcohol kind of smell.
Yeah.
That's the thing that you know a bad tequila right off the bat when you smell that sort of astringency and that kind of nasty nail polish remover smell. There's none of that there. This is really subtle. This is a very, very subtle one. Okay, Quattro it is. And now I've gone through all of my Spanish words.
There we go.
I like that, but there's a little citrus in there. Like maybe just a little bit of like lemon or orange maybe. just kind of around the back.
It has a nice flavor to it.
Yeah, I like that. It's definitely, so these are weird. I think I know which one I'm going to pick, but this is a little tough because any spirit that is very subtle is kind of tougher to rank because I think this has a lot of good flavor to it.
I think so too. Like I think 3, yeah, because like 3 is almost kind of like, when you talk about alcohol that sneaks up on you. Like, yeah. I feel like 3 would do that, where you're just like, you have a couple, and you're like, oh, I'm still okay, I'll get some more, then you're like, oh no, the world is spinning.
It's real buttery. It's got, so you get this idea of mouthfeel. So when you have a really good bourbon, for example, that's been well aged, and it hasn't been proofed down too much, and it's got that really good oily mouthfeel that you just sort of makes you feel good before you even get the flavor, This has got a really good mouthfeel. Like I feel it kind of coating my mouth, but not in a bad way. Well, you'll see sometimes in like rums where they've added too much sugar and it coats your mouth, but it's like a syrupy coating, and it's like you just drank a syrup. I like that a lot, but I don't know.
Man, you know what? 4 has my cheeks warm.
Well, 4 is sharper.
Yeah.
4 is sharper.
4 gets your attention. Like, you drink that one, you're like, oh, I'm drinking tequila, okay.
I think I get some citrus on that.
I gotta say, this round's a lot tougher for me.
These are both good. Well, I mean, again, basically everything we're drinking is good tequila. I mean, except for the things that isn't tequila. But that's good too.
This is a tough one. Like,
I'll tell you what, I think this would make an excellent margarita if you don't mind putting a higher end tequila in a margarita, which you shouldn't mind.
That's why it's there.
Because this already has some innate citrus to it, and I think would go pretty well in a margarita.
You know what? I'm gonna go with 4.
God, I'm right on the fence.
This is a hard one, and like I'm just gonna go 4 because like otherwise I'm gonna keep debating it in my head.
Let me do 3 one last time.
Okay. Go.
See, the one thing about this is, we're doing an episode on the martini that you guys will be seeing here in a couple weeks probably. And there we're tasting a bunch of gins, but it's specifically tasting gins to put in a martini. And so there was gins in that tasting that I liked that I didn't pass through because, okay, this is a good gin, but it's not a good gin for a martini.
Huh.
And in this one, it's like, it would really depend. If I was making a gin for a margarita, I would take this one.
What if we went straight tequila?
If I was sipping...
You raise a good point. That's because I could definitely sip 3.
I mean, I could sip both of them.
I mean, yeah. Well, I don't know if I can sip 4 as much as I can sip 3. Even though I went 4, because I really liked it. What's funny is I let the margarita aspect convince me because, 4 would be incredible in a margarita, and it's not bad on its own either.
No, I'm gonna go 3, and it is specifically I talked myself into it because I think 3 it's more subtle, and I think that if you're sipping that on its own, you're gonna find some stuff in it, but it's gonna take a little bit of a challenge. You're gonna have to mess with it a little bit.
I think the sip factor though, that's a good rationale.
All right, let's move on. Okay.
Wow, this is incredible.
So I'm breaking the mold of our naming conventions and going from 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. So actually not breaking the naming conventions at all. Again, on my left is number 5. I'll pour some in here. On my right is number 6. Written in handwriting that is clearly better than mine.
I was gonna say, yeah. Mine is trash as well, which is ironic.
All right, once again, number 5 on my left, number 6 on my right.
All right,
here's a trade you want.
All right.
All right, let's know it's number 5.
Ooh, little.
Now this, so again, I keep going back to the gin thing you're going to come out with. There are certain things that I know, and I'm like, that's gin. Like that is what gin is supposed to be. I know this is tequila. This is like if I was to picture in my mind what tequila smells like, it's this.
Right here.
That is blue agave. It's clear. It's crisp. That's real good. That's a real good tequila. Well, at least a good nosing tequila anyway.
Okay. Let's see what 6 is smelling like.
More subtle.
Yeah. It's weird. I feel like we keep getting paired with one that's like very like yeah, and one that's like yeah.
Yeah. This one. There's
this is way more subtle.
I don't like that nose. It's subtle, but the other one where it was subtle good, I don't like the subtlety of this as much. Let's try our tequila.
Tequila.
That's real good.
Oh, wow.
And blue agave across the board.
I know you're not a big fan of the smooth, but that is surprisingly smooth, which I would have not guessed from the smell.
Yeah, it's the palate is milder than the nose.
Ooh, that is so smooth.
And it's tequila. This is that blue agave, a little bit of sweetness, but not overly sweet. Sticks around a little bit on the outside of the palate, but not unpleasantly so.
It coated my tongue a little bit, and I really enjoy that. Like, it's pretty cool.
That's a good one. That's definitely a good one.
That is.
Let's see if this is a good one.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get my.
I always forget to cleanse.
Alrighty. All right, this is number 6.
That's pretty good too.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty smooth as well. I think I like the flavor of the other one more, but that one is, that one's not bad, obviously.
This does something weird right at the end, where there's like a blank at the end. I don't love the finish on this one. It feels like it's very difficult to describe flavors. So the way I describe things
it's hard.
Is if it sounds like bullshit to you, I understand. And it very well might be. This is just like, this is what comes out of my mind. It's like at the end, it kind of just doesn't finish. It feels like the flavor doesn't really follow through.
It kind of leaves you hanging.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. That's why, like, when I'm talking about like flavors or how things taste, like I always try to think of a light comparison to give it to, and like that one, it kind of leaves you hanging because you're expecting more, and then it's just like the taste evaporates, you know?
Yeah, I mean, what they call that in bourbon, and typically this is a factor in aging, and that's the finish. Like, how long does something stay on the palate? Well, it's actually a factor. It's a aging and also dilution.
Yeah.
So in other words, let's say you have a really old bourbon that was diluted too much. You could have a really weak finish. But when you have a bourbon that has been aged right and not proofed down too much, you get that flavor that just hangs on and on and on. In a good way, not in a bad way.
Right.
This has a much better finish than this does. I think on the initial palate, it's pretty close. I think they're both pretty good tequilas.
I know I got a little bit of each left. Let's. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like the finish isn't there on that one. This follows through significantly better.
I gotta go 5.
Yeah, definitely go 5.
Gotta go 5.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to the last of the quarterfinals. And these will be the last 2 new tequilas we're tasting. Again, imaginatively entitled number 7 and number 8.
Okay.
Again, number 7 on my left, number 8 on my right.
Okey-doke.
The one thing I think this does prove, at least in my mind, because I know there are a lot of super premium tequilas out there. You can spend hundreds of dollars a bottle. Don't spend hundreds of dollars a bottle for tequila. You can spend $50 or $60 a bottle for a tequila, and as we have shown here, have a very, very good tequila. Do not buy a $100 bottle of tequila, please.
You heard it straight from him. Let's see.
I mean, if you want to. I'm going to tell you what to do with your money, but I would never pay more than about $75 for a bottle of tequila. And it's not that it's not good, it's the fact that there is so many really, really good tequilas right around in that $50 to $60 price range that you're going to be really happy with.
Drinking good on the budget. Excuse me, drinking well on the budget. Get it? It's a double, as well. Yeah, they get it.
Let's drink tequila.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute, we're supposed to smell.
No. Oh, yeah. Let's smell the other one first.
All right.
Okay. All right, this is number 8.
So the nose on 7. Real clean. I'm not, I'm picking up a nose, but I'm not able to pick out a lot in there. It's very, very clean. There's not, no astringency whatsoever.
Yeah, this is some Hank Hill stuff right there. Just clean burning.
Yeah. All right, and number 8.
I got a little bit more florally sense on this one.
Yeah, maybe. These both are fairly muted as far as the nose goes.
This should be an interesting battle then. Like we got two light competitors on this. Like, judging by smell alone.
And that's one thing that's interesting. There are certain things, and this kind of goes across all distilled spirits, where the nose and the palate are identical, and where the nose and the palate are nothing alike whatsoever. And it's always kind of interesting.
I am learning so much tonight.
So let's see if we do that. Ooh, that's good. That's real good. It feels very, again, I hate to use words like this because they don't talk about the flavor. It's very clean, very pure, very crisp, just kind of like you can go
literally propane like Hank Hill, like on King of the Hill, man. That's what you just described.
Well, you can use the word that I don't like using.
Smooth?
Yeah.
It's smooth. I mean, it's smooth, and like, you know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me of like a smokeless mezcal.
Yeah, it doesn't. There's nothing wrong with it, which sounds like. I feel like you say that and it sounds like it's insulting, but I mean, there's literally nothing wrong with this. Like, you drink that down, it goes straight through. You got the blue agave. I would say the blue agave is maybe a little less pronounced than it was in some of the others, but it's still really front and center.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's just kind of one of those that it's like you said, it does nothing wrong. It's a very much a utility player tequila.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like if you had a football player on a football team. And let's say they weren't the best football player, but they never made any mistakes. That would be your most valuable player.
Yes.
Because like if you know that Steve, football player, is going to go out there and just do his job, he's not going to make any excellent, amazing plays, but he's just going to do his job every single play. Like that guy would be in your starting lineup every single time.
Yeah, mistake-free football. That's what that tequila is.
Absolutely.
All right, let me cleanse.
I don't love that nose as much.
All right, let's go.
That's good.
It's got a stronger finish.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It hangs around a little bit.
The initial palate, I feel like this is a little stronger.
Oh no, I'm definitely leaning toward 7. Let me go back to it.
This is really bright. It's really sunny. Like I don't know. When I picture drinking this, I picture being at a bar by a beach and there's palm trees. And like I'm wearing a ridiculous hat and sunglasses.
What's the point of vacation if you don't be ridiculous a little bit?
Exactly. I try to be ridiculous all the time. No, I think I'm going 7.
I gotta go 7 as well.
8's good. Again, all these are good.
It's not bad at all. Yeah.
The thing is, we're not really on this channel we've done some tastings where we try some lower end spirits and stuff. All of these are pretty good. So like honestly, if you're the spirit that makes the number 8 in this bracket, you're still doing pretty well because you're still better than probably a lot of the tequilas out there.
We're just being nitpicky.
Well, you gotta. I mean, It's one of those things. It's like you're hiring for a job and you got 25 people applying. You got to find some reason to put one over the top. So in this case, it's the 7. All right. So we have finished off with our quarterfinals, and into what I am told are the semifinals. So we are now doing our number 1 and our number 3. So on my left-hand side, we're doing number 1 and number 3 on my right-hand side.
Oh, I think I had Advance 4.
Oh, I'm sorry. So we're gonna do this a little bit differently. So I'm gonna pour mine. You're gonna pour yours.
Okay.
So here's your 4. So we're both going to have number 1 on the left. And I'm going to have number 3 on the right, and you're going to have number 4 on the right. So go ahead and pour your number 4 on the right. Here's the number 1.
Okay, and then this is number 1. Yeah, this is like the only round we didn't agree.
Well, it's a tough call.
No, it was a tough round.
I'm going to put this one on the left, and this one kind of in the middle with 4 on the right. So, 1 versus 3 and 1 versus 4.
I gotta say, even though 1 has kind of been like the one I've kept in mind, like I've really enjoyed it. So like, this is gonna be interesting.
Although, tell you what, again, keep talking about the gin thing, which is funny because I already recorded a lot of that, but you're not gonna see it till later because I have a little more post-production to do on it. there was one where I was like, this is going to win, this is going to win, this is going to win. And then it didn't. What can you do?
Listen, I got to ask, the gin one, were there any James Bond jokes?
Okay, well, if you go back and watch my episode on the martini, and I will say this, I'm not ashamed to say this, James Bond does not know how to make a martini. James Bond makes the martini wrong in every conceivable way, and he's just wrong. There.
Wow.
I said it. You should never, ever shake a martini. There's no reason to shake a martini. You stir a martini. Also, don't make it with vodka. That makes it flavorless. Anyway, enough of me complaining about the James Bond and his bad martini.
Alrighty. Let's go. Number 1, we're back. I missed you.
It's still pretty good.
That is still damn good.
Still pretty good.
Man, number 4 is going to really have to work.
Yeah, I tend to think that Mr. Number 3 there is probably not going to hold up because I think it's a little bit. And again, I think I'm not trying to like speculate too much. I'm pretty sure I know what number 3 is, and I'm trying to not let that cloud my judgment. But I think it's probably going to lose anyway.
Ooh.
That's real good. It's just it's very tequila. It is very all the good things about tequila and none of the bad things about tequila.
Like 4 was still good, but 1 is still riding high in my book.
This one's really tough.
Let me hold on. Let me go back. Let me go back just to make sure.
When you're kind of drinking these at this caliber, like it's you're looking for little differences. Like little things one little thing's gonna push it over or not push it over.
Yeah, I gotta go 1. I'm sorry.
I suspect that's where I'm gonna go. By the way, if we come out number 1 is 1800, I'm gonna be very upset.
Listen, that ooh.
Of course, if that's the case, then that means we should all be drinking 1800 and everybody should just shut up and just buy that.
I mean, that would be incredible if number 1 turns out to be 1800. I would be shocked.
I don't think it is. God, number 3 is really good. This is tough.
Ooh, moment of truth.
You going 1?
I'm going 1. 1 is my MJ right now.
I keep thinking number 1, but then I try 3 and it's really good. It's just doing a lot of really good subtle things. It's got a, I don't know. There's a nice little flow to it.
What flaws have you found in number 1?
No flaws.
There's no chinks in the armor, man. Like, it's pretty flawless. Like, you know, I can't punish you for doing everything well.
Yeah, it's number 1.
Yeah, see?
I think that what we're really decided it for me, 1 is very, and I use this phrase a lot when I'm describing spirits, and I know for some people it probably isn't helpful, but it's what I got. You know, I can always say what I got. And what I got is it's sunny. Like it's bright. It's very open and crisp, and like there's all these things. I think 3 is maybe more interesting than number 1. But I don't think it's better than number 1.
I don't know, 1 feels like a fun day, you know?
That's what I mean. It's like it's like spring and sunny and like you know it's just it's happy and 3 is like a book that you like. It's like you're reading Don Quixote and it's like it's challenging and you have to like work to understand it and all this stuff. And I like that about it, but I don't think it's better.
Right. Yeah.
So our second semifinal. In this one, I believe we are both doing number 5 on the left. Which is here. I am doing number 7 on the right. You are doing number 8 on the right. We'll find it somewhere. There's number 8. Here's number 7. So I'm gonna pour my 5. So number 5.
Okay. Let me cleanse.
That's probably a good idea.
Number 5.
Just a great nose. Real bright, sunny. Yeah. Not doing anything wrong here.
That's good. That's good.
It's got, so when I'm already in my mind comparing this to number 1, which I shouldn't be. Shouldn't look forward. But, so this has maybe the best mouthfeel next to number 3. It's got a real nice oil. And I know some people, if you're not real into spirits, first of all, if you're not into spirits, why are you watching this? That's strange. But if you're not, that oily feeling is a good feeling. Like, it's a good sensation to have, you know. The thing you don't want is a spirit that just kind of tastes like water and it's just sliding down and not leaving anything behind. Like a spirit that tastes good, you want to keep that flavor in your mouth. You know, if you're having a great steak or a great fried chicken, great anything, like you want that flavor to kind of persist on your palate. And so a good spirit will. This has a good mouthfeel. This does have a flavor that kind of persists a little bit.
I am scared for number 1 because 5 is not missing. All right, I went 8 here. He went 7.
Okay, the one flavor that I get every so often on spirits, and it sounds weird, it's cola. Now, don't think like drinking a bottle of Coca-Cola. What you think is, like, everybody's had Coca-Cola in their lifetime. Think of the flavor in the back of your mouth after you've had a drink of Coca-Cola. It's kind of like, and by the way, Coca-Cola is an incredibly complicated flavor. It has a ton of different things that make up the flavor of Coca-Cola. But it is a combination of a bunch of different things, and I sort of get a little bit of cola just on the back of the palate on this one, which is kind of a strange one. And you're ever seen the difference.
Yeah. I know, like, you know what's funny that you said that? Because I was thinking the other day, like, how the hell would you explain the flavor of Coca-Cola to someone?
So, sometime on this channel, I may do a Cuba Libre from scratch. Now, I know what people are thinking. Cuba Libre is the most simple cocktail in the world. It is literally rum, Coca-Cola, and a little bit of lime juice. There are recipes for making a cola simple syrup from scratch. And the list of ingredients is insane. I've gone through them. It is a huge chunk of ingredients.
Wow.
Cola is a very, very complicated flavor. And we may get there someday, but not
listen,
today.
if they can perfect it in the 1800s while doing cocaine, you got this.
I probably will not include cocaine in my recipe, but you never know.
You never know.
If we get 1 million likes...
I'll never do it straight up, but like I would try it in that instance. Like, all right, authentic cocaine in the Coca-Cola. Okay. Yeah. I think I gotta go with my boy 5.
The problem I'm having is it's sort of like the same thing as 1 and 3, good versus interesting. I feel like 7 is more interesting. I don't know if it's better. It's a little more challenging. I'll decide in 1 second. The finish is a little lacking on 7. The palate I like a little better, I think.
I'm very much enjoying this back and forth.
That's rough. Yeah, I'm going 5, and I'll tell you why. It's the finish. These are both interesting and kind of cool, and I like them. But 7 kind of dies out a little bit. And again, remember, I'm not saying it's bad. Again, I sort of keep mentioning this, but like when you're at this level, it's little things that separate the one that wins from the one that wins from the one that loses. In this case, 5. I think the finish pushes it just over the top.
This is incredible. We both got 1 and 5 in the finals.
All right, so the finals. All right, so we're back and we are doing our finale. So we have number 1 versus number 5 for all the marbles. Even though there's no marbles. To be clear, we're not giving away any marbles. We're just drinking tequila.
Alrighty.
All right.
And we can go big boy pours on these since, you know, this is it.
I am not against that.
Yeah, empty the bottle, baby. Empty the bottle. I love these little bottles, man. I feel like an alchemist.
All right. Your number 1, sir?
Okay, here's your number 5, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
This has been my GOAT, man. Like, so I'm almost afraid to see how it does against number 5 because
I'm doing this a little bit differently.
Oh.
So I'm gonna kind of nose back and forth. This is going to be very tough. These are both very good tequilas.
All right. I'm going to go 5 first, actually.
Look at the Rebel. I mean, number 1, it continues to be really good.
Damn, that is really, really good.
I don't know that I have anything more to say about it. Again, very clean, a lot of blue agave, no astringency at all. Just a little bit of oiliness, a little bit of butteriness. Very, very pleasant. Very good. Number 5.
No. I'm scared.
Uh-oh.
Like, the 5 is hanging around longer. That flavor burn is longer.
Let me go.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
These are very close.
It's like, this is a matchup with the Titans. I'm glad I saved.
The one thing also I should talk about, especially, so we live in the state of Iowa, which is a shame sometimes, especially when it comes to buying spirits. Some of these things aren't going to be available here. I did not buy all these bottles here. I did buy a fair number of them here. If you could only get one of these, buy that one. Even if it's the one that lost, you still win.
Okay, I just tried 5 again. It is really, really good. All right. Oh my God, no, not my guy number 1. I'm devastated right now. I gotta go 5. Like, I wanted it to be number 1. It's been my GOAT this entire attorney. And wow. 5 is just incredible. They both are.
Yeah, again, like I said, whatever one you buy, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna have a great night.
You're gonna have a great time. I'm kind of in disbelief. Did I mix up the glasses?
I think. So there's this weird phrase in spirits in clean. Like, what does clean mean? And it sort of implies that dirty is bad, and I don't think that's true. So, like, for example, kind of off camera, we were talking a little bit about rums. So Jamaican rum tastes dirty, but it tastes dirty in a really good way. It tastes like it's or like a Guianan rum. They do these fermentations in these dunder pits. It tastes dirty. That doesn't mean it tastes bad. That means actually it tastes very good. Clean is just more kind of...
It's safe.
It's not even safe. It's like there's no... It tastes pure. It tastes kind of like there's nothing in there that is sort of distracting. There's no other... Not astringency. There's nothing else in there. So in this case, number 1 is the cleanest of the two. It is a very, very clean spirit. It also has a very clean finish, which, to be honest, I kind of like a dirty finish, and you can clip that out.
Yeah, I am stunned. As great as number 1 is, and it's been like, my leading rum the entire tourney, I gotta go 5 because that finish is what sets it apart.
I think what you're saying is undeniably true. I think both of these are great. 5 definitely has the better finish.
I was not expecting that.
5, it hangs in there longer in a very good way.
It sticks with you. Oh man, wow.
But now we have to see
the moment of
what
truth.
Won. Okay, so how do we do this? I think I'm going to start off focusing on our last quarterfinal round, where you and I tried 2 tequilas. Mm-hmm. Sorry, spoiler alerts. So we tried 1800 versus G4. G4, the one that has sort of gotten a lot of buzz lately, and you picked 1800, and I picked G4, which means I'm better. That doesn't actually mean anything. It is interesting. 1800 is a good tequila. I think that's what it really shows, is that you don't need to spend an arm and a leg for tequila. You really don't. Don't spend nothing, because a lot of the cheap tequilas are very, very bad. But I believe it is a spirit with a very low sort of monetary entry. And so you can get a good tequila for very little. I got this on sale. In fact, anytime you see me with a handle on the bar, it was on sale. I guarantee you, because I don't buy handles unless they're on sale.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, our next one that I think is kind of interesting was, it was the second quarterfinal where we had Fortaleza versus El Primo. I picked Fortaleza, you picked Primo. This one is one of those ones, I think, where it's just like...
Either one.
You're very, very close either way. I think, honestly, on a different day, both of us could have picked differently.
Yeah.
They're both great tequilas.
Like,
Try them both.
It was a wash.
The first one is maybe... I think we'll do the first one first, because that was where number 1 won. And this one, I was fairly surprised by. This is where Avion against Cocuy. And number 1 went all the way to the finals, and that was, in fact, our Magno Cocuy, which is not tequila, strictly speaking.
And our tequila tasting.
However, it is apparently very good.
It is delicious.
But the final bracket, I think we pretty much knew this kind of all the way through. It was number 5 versus number 6, which is Codigo. Codigo versus our El Tesoro, and our El Tesoro ran to victory on this one because El Tesoro is great. I was pretty happy with that because I've been a big fan of El Tesoro for a long time. Again, these are all great. These are all great. Buy all of them, and you'll be happy. But El Tesoro is great. It's just a really good tequila.
I was not familiar with El Tesoro's game before this, and now I'm like, I need to buy a bottle and split it with family.
But what I do worry about with this is, as somebody who is in the bourbon industry, when you show somebody that, hey, this is a good thing, and then everybody goes and buys 17 bottles of it. So please, go buy 1 bottle of this.
In moderation.
And yes, don't clear the shelf.
Yeah.
But on that bombshell, I want to thank everybody for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Have a good drink.
Aldi's for life. Always put the S on Aldi.